It was terrifying. I did have a stable job, to your point, and I left to work as a psychic, which is really still something that I find difficult to this day to say this is my own work that I've got to do. And now to say I'm a psychic, I get a lot of raised eyebrows, but my income, no, it's not always all about money, but my income has tripled.
Hey, Danya, I am so excited to welcome you to the podcast.
I'm so excited to be here. Believe me, this is wonderful. Thank you for having me on. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah, so we've been working together for a little while now, and you have just created such an incredible community doing so many of your beautiful rituals and readings. And I just think that you've had such an awesome journey that a lot of people can learn a lot from. So I'm really, really excited for you to share that today.
Thank you. Well, and kudos to you. As you know, I do come from corporate. I'm an ex investment banker. So, coming from that space, working for yourself, no matter how unconventional that business, it can be really daunting if you don't have the right mentors around. So, thank you so much for being there through those early days. But the business has taken off. It is unconventional. I'm clairvoyant, as some people might not be aware. I have worked with the likes of, well, I can't name names, but some of these people have been royalty, and some people I can name, like Christine Quinn and Manza Smith from Selling Sunset, which I'm very excited to drop their names because I do love real estate reality shows, bit glitzy. But I offer rituals and I focus on calling in abundance for boss babes.
So, obviously, your background in financial banking, quite a corporate role. And then you've taken the leap back in 2021. I've got to remember what year it is, 2021, into your own business, into really leaning into your being that clairvoyant, holding that space, being seen and visible in a big way. What were some of the things that went through your mind when you were quitting your job? And obviously, it was quite a stable job to go into an industry that maybe a lot of people may perhaps don't quite understand, or there's a big stigma around, you can't make money from these kind of things or have that sustainable income. So, what were some of the shifts that you had to make?
It was terrifying. I did have a stable job, to your point, and I left to work as a psychic, which is really still something that I find difficult to this day to say this is my own work that I've got to do, because I did walk into a room with really successful people and say, I'm a banker and I look after some of the most influential individuals in the country and I look after their finances. So it just rolled off the tongue so well and it was accepted so freely. And now to say I'm a psychic, I get a lot of raised eyebrows, but my income, no, it's not always all about money, but my income has tripled and I have much more life balance and I'm doing what I'm passionate about. I'm doing my calling. I was terrified, to say the least. I had all of those negative, I guess, sentences and words going through my head at the time. You're going to fail. This is really stupid. You're throwing away all the work you've done. But I worked through them. I realized they were just my ego trying to keep me safe. And here I am, rewarded for taking the step.
Yeah, and I think that is such an incredible story because so many people hold on to what is safe and maybe a job that they dislike, a lifestyle, whatever it is. And you just had this almost blind faith that you're like, you know what, it's bloody scary, but I'm going to do it anyway and see how it goes. And you've just skyrocketed in just over a year of being running your business. Insane results that you've created.
Thanks, Jess. Yeah, thank you. I did have a good community behind me. I think that's key. I really do.
Yes. And we were just chatting before this that you have helped in that. How long exactly has it been?
Yeah, so Feb 2021 was when I officially handed in my resignation letter, and it's been north of 10,000 people that I've worked with. Yeah.
10,000 people that have come through your rituals, come through your readings, all of the beautiful offerings that you have. And a lot of people don't necessarily achieve this huge skyrocketing snowballing growth in just their first year in business. So what do you feel like was the key to really creating this incredible community?
I feel that once you take the step towards your truth, you are rewarded. There's my woo woo right there, but the universe does support you. And yes, I did it in a pragmatic way to some degree, which is ironic to say because it is psychic work, but I did test the waters. I worked after work hours, did a couple of weekends, and I saw that it was working, it was going. I had some strategies in place like any other business would, and I felt, you know what, I'm going to give this a good hard crack, and here we are. Here we are today. So not looking
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
So what was the work? So obviously you mentioned, sometimes there's that little uncomfortable feeling around really standing in that power of being like, I am a psychic. And that is pretty damn awesome because society, there's so many different things, like you said, raised eyebrows. And if the biggest key for you was really just saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm here to do, this is what I want to be doing, what were some of the shifts that you had to make to sort of bridge that gap around standing in your truth and owning who you were to create that community, but then also shift some of the mindset around that?
It's still a work in progress, and I think it will be a lifetime of work. Yeah, truly. But I guess, lean into the part of society that does accept you. So go into that subculture that does celebrate you and accept you and infiltrate that first. And I guess the mainstream will come thereafter once you've made a name for yourself. So that's exactly what I did. So I'm Ukrainian, fifth generation clairvoyant, and I did just that. I went and reached out to people of my cultural heritage where it is a little bit more accepted, I find. And I was able to get a really good response on, would you like to test what it is that I do? And I started to gain momentum through there, and then it built out. So I think that would be my advice for anyone in any industry. And some of those industries are polarizing. I know there's a lot of unconventional, innovative, and creative thinkers out there now. We don't want to be boxed in doing our 9 to 5. So lean into where you're celebrated. It's my takeaway.
Beautiful. Like find your people.
Yeah, find your tribe, as they say, although yeah, find your people. I love that. I do love that.
Yeah. Sometimes people overcomplicate things. What I find a lot of times in business is people try and make this 50,000 step process of, okay, I need to build a community, a big community of 10,000 people. I need to do like 50,000 steps and have all my ducks in a row. And I love that the most important piece that you can see in your journey was like you found your people and you stepped into owning who you are and your gifts. And that is so magical and also so empowering to see.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And to not be afraid also to say, I'm here to make money, to give myself financial freedom and stability. And that's another thing that does conflict with my industry in some cases. It doesn't need to. I think any skill that you have the right to charge and request whatever you feel appropriate energetically, just to lead with that. And I think people respond really well to that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times in the helping kind of industry, whether that's coaching, whether that is clairvoyance, whether that is, spiritual, whatever it is, I find that a lot of people get stuck on, oh, but I'm helping people. Oh, but I'm doing it because I love it. And they almost discount the fact that you can be an amazing helper and get paid really well to
Oh,
do that.
absolutely. In fact, it's funny. You sort of feel like, well, you're helping people in any industry, but yes, my industry does face this a lot. People who are, I suppose, almost offended or insulted, for if they can't afford you. I guess the bottom line is you're not there to be affordable to everyone. Perhaps it's just not the right client. So I'm still very business focused, even though I'm in this spiritual space, and I think that this will empower other women to do the same because it's a real problem, I think, for our gender, really, it's, an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, deserve to get paid well for your like everything that you offer. Do you feel like your background in finance and banking helped you bring a little bit of more of that mindset into your business?
Yes, absolutely. I feel for me and also, I was raised by Soviet parents, like, we're talking people that escaped communism, so capitalism's placed on a really high pedestal in my childhood. So I do feel that, especially when women have money in their hands, they typically engage their communities, they support their communities, there's philanthropic type I guess, support that goes on as well. So it's a wonderful thing. So it's something that I've never shied away from, which is why the business has done really well. But I know that this is an issue for a lot of women in this industry, in the healing space or the esoteric space. This is why the business has done well. I've said, this is my price and I've put it up when appropriate. These are my skills.
Yes.
And I encourage other women to do the same.
I love that so much. And you've built out specific rituals in your business around financial abundance and so much around that. So, what are some of the energetic shifts or things that you've had to do or that you share with your clients in those rituals around attracting abundance?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's feeling worthy of money because with the financial abundance ritual, the result of that ritual is incredible. Hence why it's just, it's, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's just selling in the thousands. People are having amazing results from it. They come back for more. They want it to be more regular. But I suppose the results of that ritual, the discrepancy is huge. Some people are finding they get, $150 extra in their bank account. They're thrilled. And other people are saying, like, I've got this extra $60,000 sign up from a client, out of the blue, for instance. So you've got this huge discrepancy because people have a different level of what they think they're worthy of receiving. So there are blockages that people need to work through. And I've certainly been doing that as well. It is a lifetime of work. There's so much that you can do to start with: affirmations, journaling, and just repeating, having that repetition of I'm abundant, I'm worthy of abundance, I'm abundant, I'm worthy of abundance. You'll start changing the pattern of how your brain works. It's incredible. It's really incredible work.
I love that so, so much because it's so tangible in the fact that you're giving everyone the same rituals, but there's such varying degrees. And oftentimes, I find anyway, people tend to blame external situations, whether that, oh, it's because of my job or, oh, it's because of this or that. But money really is unlimited in this world. And money literally can drop in from anywhere. I mean, I recently shared on my stories, I'm not sure if you saw it, but my old job from like, I haven't had a job in 6+ years, called me
Thanks,
up
Jess.
and just said, we actually owe you $15,000. We were underpaying you by accident. So here you go. And I was like, that was kind of my first experience with money just dropping in. It wasn't like through my business. And it's just such proof that money really can flow from anywhere. And it really is like an energetic thing.
Absolutely. And we need to expand our mind. It's not just the income, it can be your bank saying we've miscalculated your interest and, here you go. We've deposited into your account or something from the tax office. These are all things that I get on a daily. People writing to me saying this is what's happened post this ritual. Never had anything like this before because they've opened the energy up to it. So you're right. Once you open your energy up to money flowing through, it's incredible what happens. Absolutely incredible.
I would love to chat through what do you feel like? So you've had this beautiful snowballing growth and so much success, beautiful impact, results, all of that. What have been some of the biggest challenges for you through that growth journey?
Well, making sure I understand who the right audience is for me, and that's still developing very much. So people, and I say this with love because people are on their own journey, but if you have a victim mentality, I'm probably not for you. I'm not the right reader for you. I'm not the right mentor for you. I'm certainly not someone who you won't get much out of the rituals because why me doesn't, it's not the right vibration. So working through and making sure I've got the right match from the audience is very much, like I mentioned, a work in progress. I do feel that in this space you have people that want quick answers at times. It doesn't happen that way. There's a lot of work that's involved for you to reach your highest and best self. And it's not going to take just one ritual. Of course, you can see a shift in one ritual, and people do. But there's so much that you've got to put behind that. I think that's the biggest challenge. And of course, being online, you're subject to scammers, and that's just ripping my business to the most debilitating. I don't even know how to articulate it, but scammers are a real issue for those with an online presence. So I'd say those
Mm,
two, they're the biggest, things that I
yeah.
think about daily.
And I know there's new accounts imitating you every single day. And I've been through times where I've had, my business ripped off many times, and there's so many people that get imitated or copied or this kind of thing happens all of the time, and it's really, really unfortunate, but it's the time that we live in. What have been the biggest mindset shifts that you've made around releasing the impact of that's been on you? Because sometimes it can feel really, really heavy, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, this is just never ending."
Yes, I just don't feed the energy anymore. At the start, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna grow any followers. I'm not gonna get anywhere because, they're copying my account and people are saying, hold on a second, you're getting scammed all the time. Like there's people imitating you all the time." I've educated my audience. I don't feed into it anymore. Not interested. People, everyone out there, please be diligent, not just for my page, for any industry. If someone approaches you online, chances are it's probably something fishy. So, I would never approach someone for a reading. I might approach someone for a collaborative opportunity, like something similar to this type of scenario, but not for a financial exchange. Never, ever, ever.
Amazing. So, I know you've got your membership launching very, very soon, Abundance HQ. And before we finish up this conversation, we're going to get a beautiful little mini ritual from you. But before we do, I would love for you to share a little bit about Abundance HQ, the future of your business, where that's going.
Yes, I'm so pumped for this because it allows the community to have direct access to me in a very deep way. So, what that means is it's the same way that I used to ask my mother and my grandmother for assistance to understand what symbols are being presented to me by the universe, how I can call in more abundance, how I can have better luck with a job interview, all of those things. You will have complete access to me. It's a monthly membership. It's called Abundance Headquarters, and it's for all my babes that are looking for calling in abundance. That topic I'm so passionate about. Coming in a few weeks. Can't wait for it. I'm pumped. It's going to be uplifting for everyone.
Yes, and the value inside it is amazing, right? They get access to your rituals and workshops and, like, so many things. So for those who are maybe newer to this kind of world or even just to your work, in a nutshell, what would you summarize, like, your rituals? What would you summarize your offerings as?
So, putting out the intention to the universe in a very clear way, it's a methodical conversation that you have with the universe, requesting, for instance, abundance to come in. And by you saying, right, I'm putting it out there, I've done this ritual or I've invested time or money into this ritual, I'm now waiting for the rewards to come back through to me. And once you go into that waiting energy, that's when the magic happens. So it's incredible that even if you don't do the ritual yourself, because you're watching what I'm doing, because I'll send a summary once it's all done, you go into, like I said, that waiting energy, and it's amazing what comes through because you're waiting for it. You're like, this is happening.
So beautiful. So to give everyone a little sneak peek on, some of the work that you do, I know you were going to share a little bit with us now to wrap up the end of this episode.
Yeah, so if you're about to go into a difficult conversation or you've got something that requires a bit of courage, this is a little protection ritual that you can do for yourself. It takes only 5 seconds. You just place your hands into the prayer position in front of your heart and you take it up to your third eye, your hands that is, and then you pull around a golden circle around your body. Just envision that golden circle around your body and you just feel protected by the universe. You can close your eyes, keep them open. I personally close my eyes, and you can walk in knowing that you are in your protected bubble. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're safe. Go and ask for that promotion. Go and ask for that pay rise, or have your, difficult conversation with your friend or partner or whatever you need to do. Go for it. You're good.
Oh, beautiful. That's amazing because there are plenty of difficult conversations that we have in business, whether that's with clients, whether that's with mentors, whether that's with just colleagues or people copying us online or whatever it might be, right? So I think that that is going to be a really, really powerful one.
I agree. I love that ritual, and I'm really honored to share it with all of you. So thanks, Jess. Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your experiences, your expertise, all of the amazingness that you have to offer. So, where can people find you? Where can people jump into your membership if they feel called to? Let us know all the details.
Absolutely. So website's danya.com.au and you'll see all of the information there. You can subscribe to my emails. You'll get a quarterly newsletter that shares all things to do with either calling in abundance or this is a different theme every quarter. The last one was all about cleanses and keeping your space energetically hygienic. And you can also find me on Instagram, which is very much my shop front, and that's Danya_clairvoyant.
Yes, beautiful. And I will put all those links in the show notes as well. But thank you again for sharing all of your amazingness in here. And we'll be chatting real soon anyway.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Jess. You have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.